Have you ever stood in the shadow of a giant, a living, breathing mountain that has shaped history, myth, and the very land it stands on? Today, we're journeying to Sicily, to the foot of one of the world's most active and iconic volcanoes, Mount Etna. This isn't just a story about rocks and lava. It's a tale of creation, destruction, and resilience that stretches back 500,000 years. So, grab your virtual hard hat, and let's delve into the explosive history of Mount Etna. Our story begins long before Etna was the towering peak we see today, around 500,000 years ago. The area where Sicily now lies was a large bay, deep beneath the waves. The African tectonic plate was making a slow, powerful push, sliding under the Eurasian plate. This colossal geological struggle, known as subduction, started to melt the rock in the Earth's mantle, creating magma. This molten rock, lighter than the solid rock around it, began to rise. The first eruptions didn't happen on land, but on the seafloor, building up submarine volcanic cones that are now hidden deep within the mountain's foundations. This was the birth of Etna, a quiet, underwater beginning for a future giant. As tens of thousands of years passed, these submarine eruptions continued, piling layer upon layer of cooled lava and ash. The volcanic platform slowly grew, eventually breaking the surface of the Ionian Sea. Around 300,000 years ago, the focus of the volcanic activity began to shift westward. This phase is known as the Tholeiitic stage, characterized by eruptions that formed vast, shield-like volcanoes, similar to those we see in Hawaii today. Imagine expansive, fluid lava flows spreading out, gradually building up the land. The landscape of eastern Sicily was being fundamentally reshaped, forged in fire. Then, about 100,000 years ago, the nature of Etna's eruptions changed dramatically. The volcanic activity started to become more centralized and explosive. This marked the beginning of the ancient Etna phase. Instead of widespread, gentle flows, the volcano began building steeper, more defined cones. Geologists believe several large stratovolcanoes formed and then collapsed over millennia. One of the most significant of these was the Trifogliato volcano. Its life ended in a series of massive, violent caldera collapses, leaving behind a huge depression on the eastern side of the mountain. These weren't just simple lava flows. They were cataclysmic events that carved out the early shape of the mountain we know. The remnants of these ancient volcanoes were then buried by a new, more persistent center of activity. Around 60,000 years ago, the Montebello Volcanic Center was born. This is the volcano that forms the bulk of Mount Etna today. The name Montebello itself is fascinating. It comes from the Latin mons and the Arabic jebel, both meaning mountain. So, it's literally mountain, a name that reflects the deep cultural history intertwined with its geological one. The early Montebello eruptions were highly explosive, creating a steep, classic stratovolcano shape. One of the most dramatic features of Etna's modern structure is the Valle del Bove, or Valley of the Ox. This immense horseshoe-shaped depression on the eastern flank of the volcano is a scar from a catastrophic event. About 8,000 years ago, the eastern side of the Montebello cone catastrophically collapsed. An unimaginable volume of rock and debris slid eastward, creating a massive landslide that traveled all the way to the Ionian coast. This event not only carved the Valle del Bove, but also likely triggered a devastating tsunami in the Mediterranean. It's a stark reminder of the immense power lurking within the mountain. Since then, subsequent lava flows have been slowly filling in this great valley, a continuous process of destruction and renewal. Now let's step into recorded history, where Etna transitions from a geological wonder to a player on the human stage. The ancient Greeks and Romans lived in its constant shadow, and the volcano became deeply embedded in their mythology. They believed it was the workshop of Hephaestus, the god of fire and metalworking, and the prison of the monstrous giant Typhon, whose restless movements caused the earth to tremble and fire to erupt. The philosopher Empedocles is said to have thrown himself into the crater in the 5th century BC to prove his immortality, a legend that speaks to the awe and mystery the volcano inspired. The first well-documented eruption dates back to 122 BC. This eruption was so significant that the Roman government exempted the inhabitants of Catania from taxes for 10 years to help them rebuild. It was a clear sign that living near Etna was a double-edged sword. The volcanic soils were incredibly fertile, supporting vineyards and orchards, but the threat of eruption was ever present. Perhaps the most devastating eruption in recent history occurred in 1669. It was not an eruption from the summit, but from a fissure that opened on the volcano's southern flank, just above the town of Nicolosi. For weeks, a river of lava flowed relentlessly towards the city of Catania. The city walls, which had protected it for centuries, were no match for the molten tide. The lava poured over and through the walls, destroying the western part of the city before reaching the sea. This event dramatically altered the coastline and remains a benchmark for the destructive potential of Etna's flank eruptions. It wasn't just about lava. The eruption was preceded by weeks of powerful earthquakes that caused widespread panic and destruction. Throughout the 18th, 19th, and 20th centuries, Etna has remained consistently active, with cycles of summit eruptions and more dangerous flank eruptions. Scientists began to study the volcano with increasing intensity, establishing one of the world's first volcanological observatories on its slopes. Each eruption, from the dramatic events of 1928 that destroyed the town of Mascali, to the prolonged eruption of 1991 to 1993, has provided invaluable data. During the 1991 eruption, which lasted for 473 days, humanity made its first large-scale and partially successful attempt to divert a lava flow using explosives and concrete barriers to protect the town of Zaffarana. So what makes Etna so special and so active? Its location is the key. It sits on a complex boundary where the African plate dives beneath the Eurasian plate. But it's not just a simple subduction zone. Scientists also believe there's a mantle plume or hotspot underneath, a column of exceptionally hot material rising from deep within the earth. This combination of tectonic stress and a deep heat source provides a constant supply of magma, making Etna one of the most productive volcanoes on the planet. Its chemistry is also unique, evolving over time and varying from eruption to eruption, keeping volcanologists on their toes. Today, Mount Etna is a UNESCO World Heritage Site and one of the most closely monitored volcanoes in the world. A sophisticated network of seismometers, GPS stations, gas sensors, and cameras keeps a constant watch on its every rumble and breath. For the hundreds of thousands of people living on its slopes, this monitoring is a lifeline. They've learned to coexist with the giant, respecting its power while harnessing its gifts. The fertile soils continue to produce some of Sicily's best wines, fruits, and nuts. The volcano is both a provider and a threat, a creator and a destroyer. From its submarine origins 500,000 years ago to the fiery spectacles of today, the story of Mount Etna is a powerful saga of geological forces and human adaptation. It's a living laboratory, a mythological icon, and a testament to the dynamic, ever-changing nature of our planet. It reminds us that beneath the surface of our world, there are forces at play that are far greater than ourselves. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey into the heart of a volcano. If you enjoyed this exploration, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss our next adventure. Let me know in the comments what are the natural wonders you'd like to explore. Until next time, stay curious.